Coke or Diet Coke? How will they compare in terms of how they spike your blood sugar? Is there really a difference? Or how about this stevia-sweetened soft drink? Will that make a difference? Benedict and I are going to investigate, and we'll let you know. Well, sweetie, welcome to another action-packed, fun-filled edition of Beat Diabetes.
Thank you, Denise. I am so glad to be here.
And today is Soda Day.
Soda Day. I can't wait to drink some soda.
Now, here's a good word for you. You may not know. Ubiquitous. Ubiquitous. Have you ever considered the ubiquitous nature of Coca-Cola?
Please don't tell me to pronounce that. I may bite my tongue.
Okay, well, it means it's everywhere.
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 Okay, that's better.
Is there any place in the whole world where you can't find a Coke?
No, I've not seen. Anywhere you go, they're there.
In America, they're everywhere. In Africa,
they're all over.
They're all over the place. In the Philippines,
everywhere.
Easy to get a Coke, no matter where you go.
They're there.
When you were a little girl growing up in a remote Nigerian village, you weren't in the big city, but I'll bet you could have got a Coke.
We are drinking Coke all the time. Party time is Coke time.
Coke is everywhere. And I brought some of these cards that reflect some of the Coke ads back from the 1940s, the World War II years. And I am a sucker. I'm a sucker for that era. I just love movies made back then. I love the ads even. So we've got this.
We watch old movies all the time.
Yes, we do. One of us is Peter Gunn. That's
Gunsmoke.
Gunsmoke. Those are shows, not movies. But yeah, we watch the old stuff some. And then for Sweetie's sake, some of the chick flicks and the ones where you want to pull out your hanky and dab your tears. It's so sweet. Anyway, we've got all kinds of ads from the 1940s showing Coke. And I want you to kind of notice them. I'm going to show the camera. But take a look. Here's a soldier with his girlfriend. They're drinking a Coke. Check that out.
Come get it.
Soldier with a bunch of his buddy soldiers. They're flyboys, and they're all drinking Cokes.
Yep.
Here's a soldier headed off to battle. He says, "My old friend Coke." He's found a Coke in France.
Wow, old favorite friends showed up.
Here is a Coke date. Not just any date, but a
Coke date.
Coke has probably the biggest marketing campaign, and it's gone way back to the 20s. In fact, we're going to give a revelation on this show, this episode, that people will never get anywhere else.
Oh, okay.
Folks, I want you to hold on to your seats. This is big. I mean, this is momentous.
Okay,
This is
I'll
really
hold on here because I've not had one.
This is really, really big. I want to reveal today that Santa Claus, you know, the jolly old red guy with the red suit?
Big belly guy?
Big belly guy? Santa Claus is diabetic.
Oh.
I am almost certain.
Oh.
Number one, he's way overweight, probably 150 pounds overweight.
Really?
Number two, what is his diet? They've got all these ads that show him with a Coke.
Yeah.
Going back to 1920s, they show Santa with a Coke.
Right.
And what's his other thing that he loves? Milk and cookies. Santa eats more cookies than anybody in the whole world. And everybody leaves him cookies. So between his Cokes and his cookies, he's got to be diabetic. And being overweight, he's got to be diabetic. So Santa, I hope you're watching this channel. Hope you can learn a few things, slim down, and start eating low carb. Try some keto cookies instead of the regular ones.
We can have this year Christmas a slim, Santa.
And Santa, if you're watching, you can let me know, give me a call or put something in the comments. I'll be happy to interview you once you get your diabetes under control.
Okay.
All right.
And now, this is a public demand today. Our fans really wanted us to drink some Coke.
Yeah, well, she's actually absolutely right about that. Yep. Everybody was asking us, show the difference between a Coke and a Diet Coke. We've actually got three. We've got Coke. We've got Diet Coke, and we've got something called Zevia. Zevia, which is a sugar-free soda
Okay.
sweetened with stevia.
Stevia.
So, will there be any difference? Well, there'll definitely be a difference between the Coke and the Diet Coke. How about between the Diet Coke and the stevia or the Zevia? We will see. But before we get into drinking our Coke, I have another thing I want to do. I want us to play make-believe. I want us to do a hypothetical scenario. Let's pretend.
What is that?
Let's pretend you're all the way back in Nigeria.
We're back in...
Back in the days when you had to walk all over the place and take buses and it was so hot and you were getting so thirsty and sweat was pouring down your face.
I like where you're going.
Now, you see a guy with a sign. You don't have a lot of money, let's say, but you see a guy with a sign that says...
Coca-Cola?
Nope.
Oh.
Sweet, refreshing drink, only 20 naira. Now, that's pretty cheap, right?
Very cheap.
It's just 10, 15 cents, something like that.
Right.
So you rush over there. And you're going to get a cool, refreshing, sweet drink for 20 naira. So he takes out a glass.
You're selling the soda today?
And then, I'm the salesman. He pours
The soda?
plain water in there. Okay?
Plain water.
Just plain water. Now, he's not done, though. You say, well, I don't want to pay 20 naira for a glass of water. I can get that cheaper than 20 naira.
Yeah, they sell water all over the place. You can get it
But
anywhere.
he's not done.
He's not done.
He's going to add this sparkly, crystally white substance to the water. So let's see how much he adds. 1, 2.
You're making a mess.
I know. 3, 4, 5, 6,
and
7.
7. And that's
8.
enough.
He's not done.
And
9.
that's too much.
10.
Okay.
Gives it a quick stir.
Well, if I see him doing this, I won't drink it.
And he says, here's your sweet, cool, refreshing drink for 20 naira. And what do you say?
Thanks, I'm full.
Who would want sugar water, right? He says, wait a minute.
Okay.
I'm not done.
Not done.
He adds a little food coloring to
Oh.
make it a little prettier.
Gee.
Swirl it around.
Is that what they make Coke with?
Well, they do some kind of coloring. I don't know if it's probably not this.
That is.
Now,
So you're making Coca-Cola in the house.
Here's 20 naira drink.
Oh.
Looks nice, doesn't it?
Yep.
But he's still not done. He's going to make it even more refreshing with some ice cubes. Bam.
And I'm backing up from this dark something.
Ma'am, that'll be 20 naira.
20 naira. Oh.
Would you pay for this drink?
I don't think I would want to buy this because it doesn't look right.
Now let's make this a little more pretend.
Okay, we're pretending that we're buying it.
I'm the salesman.
Okay.
You're the sellee, the person that he wants to sell it to.
Right.
And I'm going to say something to you, and every time I say something, I want you to say, but it has 10 teaspoons of sugar.
Okay.
Okay? Mm-hmm. Ma'am, wouldn't you love this drink?
But it has 10 spoons of sugar in it.
But notice how pretty it is.
It looks pretty.
Say you're saying.
Oh, it has 10 teaspoons of sugar in it.
It's sweet and yummy.
Yeah, but it has 10 spoons of sugar in it.
It's very cheap, only 20 naira.
Yeah, I know, but 10 spoons of sugar is in there.
Okay, folks, I think you get the point.
You got it.
That is almost precisely what 12 ounces of Coke has, is 10 teaspoons of sugar in it.
You mean 10 spoons of sugar is in here?
Yes. Well, it's actually 9.75, but I rounded it up to 10. But about 10 teaspoons of sugar in every single 12-ounce can of Coke. Now, they don't say 10 teaspoons of sugar. They give it in the grams, total grams, 39 grams, which is more than a Snickers candy bar. But it's about 10 teaspoons of sugar.
Okay.
Every time you drink that Coke. Well, that can't be good for you, can it?
No.
But for the sake of science,
Science.
For the sake of research.
Research.
For the sake of our YouTube fans everywhere.
Our fans, we love them.
We're going to drink 1 12-ounce can of Coke.
Right.
So go ahead and pour it in.
And we're going to smile as we drink it like, ow! Then it's what you see, you have to open this because I'm a lady. I don't use my fingers.
Those fingernails must be protected.
Right.
At all costs. Go ahead and pour.
Pour it. Oh.
To low blood sugar.
Yeah.
If even possible with such a drink.
I know. Oh, it tastes really good. Can we just smile like these guys are smiling?
Tastes like Coke, doesn't it?
Tastes like Coke.
Well, you know what they say, nothing refreshes like Coke.
It's really refreshing.
And nothing drives up blood sugar like soda.
Ah.
Whether it's Coke or the cheap version of Coke or Fanta or whatever else. 10 teaspoons of sugar in that glass right there that you're going to be ingesting.
Yeah, my body can handle it. You know, in those days, we drank a whole lot of it. Our blood sugar didn't go anywhere.
Well, you don't know what happened with your blood sugar. You weren't testing in those days.
Okay.
But I will say this. There's nothing to slow down this from hitting our bloodstream. It's going to hit hard, it's going to hit fast, and it's going to hit quickly. So we're going to test it 15 minutes just to see where it goes. Then 30 minutes, 1 hour. 1 hour is the latest we'll test because it will surely hit its peak by 1 hour.
Right.
So here we go. We started with the worst, the one that I dreaded the most, which was the one that's going to raise my blood glucose. These other two almost surely will not raise it much. So we'll see you back and report our results after a while. Well, another day, another soda, right?
Another soda. Yeah. We're testing another soda today. Lovely.
Well, I'm glad we got yesterday out of the way.
Right.
Because that was the worst. That was the regular Coke. The one jammed and packed and jammed and packed with carbs and sugar. So, and we're not going to reveal the scores till the end of this whole thing, but I will say this much.
Okay.
You beat me all over the place yesterday. You just beat me all over the place on that regular Coke.
I beat you all over the place.
Well, she beats me in bowling. She beats me in blood sugar. I'm glad there's just one area where I excel well above you, and that is when we go to Africa and they play that African music and we start to dance. Those dance moves I've got, somebody can't just hardly keep up with this guy right here.
Oh, that's it. You need to be on Dancing with the Stars in America.
Let me ask you, are they not still talking about my dancing from our wedding 10 years ago?
I know, they're still talking about it.
They're still talking. We won't say what they're saying, but they're still talking.
No, I was surprised hearing it at the airport when I was traveling from Nigeria to India. And they were like, oh, our in-law gave us that dancing moves.
Well, we don't have to demonstrate.
Okay, no demonstration.
Okay, so today we've got the regular Coke out of the way, all that sugar out of the way.
Yeah.
Let's consider what we're going to have. We're going to actually do a test right now with the Diet Coke, and then we're going to come back in a few hours when our blood sugar is pretty much stable. We're going to have a little lunch after we do our Coke test, and then we'll do the Zevia. But pick up a Coke, the Diet Coke can.
Okay.
How many carbs are in a whole can of Diet Coke?
0 carbs.
0 carbs, which means 0 sugar.
0 sugar.
How much fat is in this can?
0 fat.
There's no fat. There's no fiber. There's really no vitamins. I mean, essentially, you're getting some good flavor, and that's just about it. But now let's look at the Zevia. It is also a non-sugar soda.
Non-sugar soda.
Check out the info here. How many carbs are in the Zevia?
0.
So if there's 0 carbs, that means there's 0 sugar because sugar is a carb. So no sugar, no carbs at all.
0 fat.
No fat. And, there's no vitamins that I think that would be in there. Again, you're just getting flavor.
Flavor.
Now, when I first realized I had blood sugar problems, I found out fairly quickly there was a relationship between how many carbs were in the food or the drink that I ingested and how high my blood sugar went.
Oh.
A lot of carbs, high blood sugar.
Okay.
Medium carbs, medium blood sugar.
Okay.
Low carbs, fairly low blood sugar. So when I would check out something like this or this and look and see it says 0 carbs, I would assume this cannot raise my blood sugar.
Right.
Just can't do it.
Can't.
Because carbs are what drive blood sugar. If it has no carbs,
crazy.
How can they? Now, that was maybe a little naive. There are some instances where it can rise anyway with, say, protein or whatever, but for the most part, what I found out was essentially true. That is, carbs drive blood sugar.
Okay.
So theoretically, mind you, theoretically, our Diet Coke today should not raise our blood sugar. Should not.
Good news.
But we're not going to just assume that's true.
Oh, okay.
We're going to drink it, test ourselves as we did yesterday.
And see what we're getting.
And compare it to the regular soda.
Right.
So go ahead and open up your can of Diet Coke.
Okay. Just did my nails.
Just did your nails. How about if I open up that can of Diet Coke?
That would be great. That's why I love having you by my side.
Right. What if I can't open your soda cans? What good am I, really?
I don't know. Why good are you?
What good? Pour the soda, sweetie.
What good are you?
What good am I? So we have here 12 ounces of Coke, like yesterday, but this is the Diet Coke.
Diet Coke.
You remember what I told you? Yesterday's Coke had 10 spoons of sugar.
Right, 10 spoons.
This soda has 0 spoons of sugar.
0.
Should make a difference.
Difference.
To your health, my love.
Our health. Yeah.
Well, we have completed yet one more test. How does it feel?
Feels good.
3 different sodas in 2 days.
Yeah, we really had fun tasting it.
Let me ask you, were there any surprises for you at all on these tests?
Well, yeah.
What would be the surprise?
The surprise is how my body handled the regular soda.
Yeah.
Really good.
She really did good with the regular soda. You know, I've told my listeners and watchers that I try to set a goal of 140.
Right.
And anything over that, I'm not comfortable and I'm going to have to whittle my meal down. I never dreamed you could eat or you could drink a soda with 10 teaspoons of sugar and stay under 140, but you did.
Right.
How about that?
I am so glad that, my body, my little pancreas handled it so well.
Yeah, that really surprised me as well. And we'll go over the specific numbers in a moment. In terms of the diet sodas, we had one, the Diet Coke, which was sweetened with aspartame. The Zevia was sweetened with stevia. Wasn't really much of a surprise.
No, it was good.
We assumed
Yeah.
that they shouldn't raise blood sugar much at all.
And they didn't.
And they didn't.
Yeah.
So that really wasn't much of a surprise. But let's get into the numbers right now. Let's look at, first of all, the worst, the big mama of the sodas, the one loaded with all that sugar, jam-packed with sugar.
Okay.
The regular Coke. So start us out, tell us your pre-meal, and then your 15-minute post-test, 30-minute, 1 hour.
Well, my pre-meal was 89. And my 15 minutes was 129. And in 30 minutes, it was 133. And in 1 hour, I came down to 97.
Yeah. To me, that's amazing. That is just beautiful handling
Right.
of all that sugar. And my story is not nearly such a happy story as yours.
Yeah.
So in my case, I started at 99, 10 points over you.
Okay.
At 15 minutes, I was already up to 173. 15 minutes. That's not much time. And that sugar had hit me to the point where I had raised 74 points.
Right.
And that's not a good thing. By 30 minutes, I was at 189. I had jumped another 16 points. So, I'm getting close to that 200 border.
Yeah, I know.
At 1 hour, it was dropping down just slightly at 186. not good.
Not very good.
You know, one of the interesting things I noticed about with this Coke experiment, your peak, the highest point as far as we measured, was 133.
Yes,
But
at 30 minutes.
Yeah, at 30 minutes. When we tested quinoa, you went up to 151 at 30 minutes. So a cup of quinoa raised your blood sugar more
So high.
than a 12-ounce can of Coca-Cola.
How about that?
That's pretty amazing, isn't it?
Yay for little sugar.
Now, folks, please hear me out. I'm not saying Coke is good, and I'm not saying it's superior. I am saying when it comes to blood sugar, there's really not much difference.
Yeah.
In my case, I went up to 189. When I had the quinoa, I went up to 180 at 1 hour. So again, very close to the quinoa experiment for me. And some people say, well, quinoa is natural, Coke is unnatural, quinoa is beautiful, Coke is nasty. But in terms of blood sugar, and let me highlight those words, in terms of blood sugar, read my lips, in terms of blood sugar,
Yeah.
not all that much difference. They're both going to jack your blood sugar up really good.
You should just watch those.
You just got to watch it. All right, let's move on to the Diet Coke.
My Diet Coke really went well, and my pre-meal started with 102, and then in 15 minutes time, I went didn't go up, kind of went low to 88, and in 30 minutes time, it was 87, and then in 1 hour time, it was 92.
Okay, so you not only didn't go up with the Diet Coke,
No,
you actually went down.
I went down.
A bit. In my case, I started at 97. I did go up at 15 minutes. That, to me, that's one of the stranger readings.
Yeah.
106. Again, we're not dealing with any carbs here. We're just dealing with aspartame. At 30 minutes, I was back down to 93, lower than the pre-meal. At 1 hour, I was at 92, just basically the same. So obviously, the Diet Coke did not do much to my blood sugar. And in fact, I ended up better off than I was when I started.
Okay.
You ended up better off than you were when you started. Neither of us had any significant peak whatsoever.
Nothing to complain about.
So, you know, I've heard people use all kinds of criticisms of diet sodas and suggest, well, you're just going to trick your body. It's going to sense that sweetness and your blood sugar is going to go up anyway.
Yeah.
Well, this test certainly doesn't indicate that at all. It didn't go up. It actually went down a bit.
Yeah.
So the Diet Coke, no problem. Let's look at the Zevia, which was an orange-flavored drink sweetened with stevia.
Right.
Read your scores there.
My scores here, the pre-meal test was 105, and in 15 minutes time, I went down to 104, and then 30 minutes time, it was 99, and in 1 hour time, 104.
Okay, kind of floating back and forth between the low 100s and the 90s.
Yeah.
But again, no real peak to speak of. I mean, really nothing.
No
You start out
scary
at
thing.
105, and you never quite get up there again.
Yeah.
In my case, I started at 93, significantly lower for some reason.
Right.
15 minutes after finishing the soda, I was at 95, 30 minutes, 94, 1 hour, 92. Considering the margin for error, basically it's a wash. I really didn't move much at all one way or the other, just held flat.
Yeah.
So again...
You kind of beat me on this, last
well, I'll tell you.
Zevia.
I'll tell you something, sweetie.
Huh.
I mentioned this with one of our other tests.
Okay.
When we do low carb, I can keep up with you.
Oh, okay.
I can keep pace with you, no sweat.
And beat me if you can.
And occasionally do slightly better. But when we load up with the carbs, you go way ahead of me. You do so much better. So exactly why that is, I'm not even sure.
We should.
But what it tells
check it out.
what it tells me is as long as I stay low carb, I can pretty much be normal. I can pretty much keep my blood glucose about the way a normal person would do it. The abnormal and the normal, I can keep up if I keep those carbs low. But the minute I have something high carb, you just go all over you beat me all over the place.
Beat you all over the place.
All right. So between the two diet sodas, the Diet Coke with the aspartame, the Zevia with the stevia, not really much difference, was
Not
there?
much.
And again, that was not a surprise. We kind of expected that. But some people need a demonstration, so here it is.
Yeah, these two are kind of diabetes friendly, like blood sugar friendly.
Right.
When
it comes to blood sugar, they just don't have much effect. At least they didn't on us. And it's not like this is the first time I've ever tested soda. I've done it before, but we wanted to make this demonstration.
This is a public demand. Our fans wanted us to do this, and we've done it. So
let's talk for a minute about one thing that I sometimes hear that I think is actually kind of stupid, if I were to be real honest. Some people say, well, yeah, but diet soda is unnatural, and soda, regular soda, is natural. So I'm going to drink the natural over the unnatural, even though it may raise my blood sugar a little bit.
Okay.
But let's think for a minute. You've lived in Africa. I've been there a number of times. We've seen sugar cane growing in the fields.
Right, a whole lot in Kenya. Have
we ever seen a plant that grows bottles of high fructose corn syrup?
No.
I have never, you have never, nobody has ever seen a plant that grows up and has little bottles of high fructose corn syrup. Have we ever seen a plant that grows up with bowls of white crystallized sugar?
No.
No, I haven't, you haven't, nobody has. So the sugar that you're thinking is so natural, whether it's the crystallized sugar or the high fructose corn syrup, it's not natural at all. It's highly processed.
It's been processed.
It's highly concentrated, and it is bad news. So this argument that, well, it's more natural to drink regular sodas, so I'll just drink them and leave the diet sodas alone. Well, if you hate diet sodas that much, just don't drink any soda at all, right? Okay. But don't use the excuse, I'll just guzzle down the Coke because, baby, that's natural, and that's what I want. I'm all about natural. No, there's nothing natural about a Coke or a Fanta or any of these sugarized sodas.
Might as well drink water.
Yeah, you'd be far better off. All right, well, that's our report. I'll come back with just a few quick closing remarks. Thanks for hanging in there with us, and we hope this has been helpful. I'll be back in a moment. Now, I know I'll get some criticism from some who will say that any form of diet soda must be evil, nasty, unhealthy, and it'll make all your friends hate you. I can only say this. Since I gave up regular soda in 2001, I have occasionally drunk diet sodas. So far, as much as I can tell, it hasn't been a problem. One thing to consider is that diet sodas have been drunk by millions and millions of people for about 50 years now. And there's been no clear case made that they're harmful. We're not talking about a food product that's just come out and nobody knows anything about it. We're talking about a drink that has been one of our world's biggest sellers. Coke Zeros, Diet Cokes, and other diet sodas are truly everywhere. One would think that if they make everybody who drinks them deathly sick, or if they're going to shorten your life by 10 years, we would have figured that out in the last 50 years. But maybe they are unhealthy and we just haven't proven it yet. Of course, stevia is a natural sweetener that you really couldn't call artificial. But we each have to make our own decisions about what we're going to eat and drink and what we'll forsake for the sake of being healthy. My personal feeling is that if you have an occasional diet soda, whether sweetened with stevia or aspartame, it probably wouldn't hurt you. But the operating word here is occasional. Often it's not what we eat or drink that causes us problems, it's how much of it we eat and drink. The person who drinks several diet sodas a day is asking for trouble, in my opinion. But to drink one once or twice a week or once or twice a month seems like it would probably be okay. It has been for me anyway. But what do I know? I'm no nutritionist. But what I am is someone who tests his blood sugar a lot. And this much I can say without fear of contradiction. Unless you're some kind of extremely rare case, a diet soda should not affect your blood sugar nearly as much as a regular soda. But don't take my word for it. If you're doubtful, test yourself and see how it affects you. Hope you enjoyed the video. If so, give it a thumbs up so that YouTube will rank it higher in its search engine and more diabetics will get to see it. And as always, consider subscribing to this channel and then click that little bell icon so you'll be notified every time we post a new video. God bless. See you again soon.